This right here is like a toolbox or whatever that goes in the bed. And a buddy of mine was bringing in a whole bunch of aluminum scrap and I wanted it. So we traded. I gave him an old set of wheels to scrap and he gave me this. So this cost me absolutely nothing. So this is a Tough Guy toolbox and that part number is 8766 S. And as many of you know, my entire truck is completely black. It's all gloss black, matte black, and gray. This stands out like crazy. When I had originally gotten this, there were these two huge holes right here, and I'm assuming he had like auxiliary like brake lights or something, or like little pod lights or something like that to see the bed of their truck. But they removed those when they got rid of this. Then my buddy ended up getting his hands on it, so it was just like scrap metal. That's basically what this is being sold for. And as you can see, scrap value. Like this thing's pretty beat. Had some giant holes cut in it. I just took like an old piece of hood, cut a square, drilled it out, rivet.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of hard to see, but I put like washers
on the back so that way it would actually like hold in. The rivets wouldn't come back out, sort of like what these did. And then I used some exhaust, like adhesive or whatever, like a sealant. So that way these are completely weather sealed. And then I just wanted to shitty them up a bit. So I just used some old paint to just make it look, you know, garbage. Just so these giant red patches were more intentional because I was just too lazy to paint it at the time. Now's the time that I'm going to paint it. So my first course of action is going to be to peel all this sealant off right here because it's really not doing anything. And I got some new stuff to put on there. So this is Frost King Expandable Self-Stick Joint Filler Weather Seal. 1 inch wide, 1 inch thick, 13 feet long. So I grabbed 2 of those just in case I need some extra, and if there is extra, I can use it for the garage door. Just to put like along the bottom or something, or maybe along the edges, so that way it seals up nicely, because I plan on hopefully getting a heater in here this year. So that's going to be like the final touches. As for this entire inside here, I'm going to be using some rubberized rocker guard, so that way it gives kind of more of like a dampening feel, so like very loud. Originally they just had these sheets of rubber that were sitting in there, which were great, but at the same time, the ones that were up here fell down and they were just in there. So, I mean, like, as good as the rubber things are, it's not going to hold up the way that I want it to. So I'm going to spray the entire inside with a healthy coating of rubberized rocker guard. And for painting the entire thing, I'm going to be doing just, you know, like generic primer or whatever, just on the outside. And not that it's entirely necessary, it's just kind of trying to give this the best opportunity to last as long as I can. But over top of the primer, I'm going to be using some flat black rust paint, and that's just going to be like more of like an armored coat sort of thing, because rust paint is like absurdly thick and it's enamel based. It's going to take a ridiculously long time to dry, and as it dries over time, it just gets harder and harder. I'll just drill these out, just replace the rivets, just make it better, I guess. And then I'm just going to clean the whole thing with brake clean, because why not? So I'm going to be using the non-chlorinated stuff, and I'm just going to basically wipe down the entire thing. So I've already vacuumed it out. All like the leaves and whatever garbage that were in there, that's all gone. Wipe it all down, and I'll just scuff the whole thing with like a red Brillo pad or whatever. I mean, you can see that this has had, you know, some spills over time, because there's like a huge color difference right there. So something definitely spilled there. So I'm gonna have to make sure that's all clean just before spraying anything over top, just to make sure it actually adheres nicely. As for the bottom, I'm not doing a damn thing. I'm just gonna leave it, because once this is bolted in the truck, I'm never gonna remove it again. So it's just gonna be in there permanently. You're never gonna see the bottom, whatever. So that's it, time to clean. I don't know. I really got nothing here. This is a super boring project. I wasn't going to make a video on it. It's just, you know, people have questions, so I just kind of like avoid stuff like that to just kind of show you like what I did. Like, how did I make it not garbage, or at least less garbage? So you can just grab some shop towel and just start wiping it all down. Wow, dirty. And then put some sealant, slap her back in, and get some new rivets on there. I don't know, it'll be easy. I mean, it doesn't really matter. This thing's gonna get beat anyway. Most of this for the sake of the video and just so it doesn't look like entire garbage in the truck. But realistically, this isn't gonna last very long. So I'm just gonna use whatever this stuff is. Oh yeah, that smells like it's gonna work. I just wanna have like enough in here that, you know, it's gonna seal up. And whatever squeezes out, I'll just clean it off. Nothing crazy. Alright, maybe when you're doing this, don't almost drop it and get it all over everything. That's a good start. But let's just stick that in there. Sure. Oh my god, I literally have 8 left and they're super rusty. Let's just knock these out so that way we can clean them up. Rebuilding rivets. Can you imagine if this is what your life has come to? Let's just shove that in there. I mean, it's still absolutely terrifying, but it'll work. Yeah, let's just make sure that those stay, you know, less garbage. Okay, got some washers. So we're gonna put this through, put the washer on, pull it in with those, and then the end will bulge out past the washer, which will give it more surface area, and then hopefully it won't come loose over time. I mean, wishful thinking. So let's just shove that washer on there. Okay, so I don't want to tighten that up completely yet. We can line it all up, get the other ones in place, because at least we can make sure that everything fits. Okay, there we go. So that's good. Now we can just send them home. Now just take a dab of this stuff here. Make sure that this is fully weather sealed. Now let's just kind of wipe it down. That's all sealed up and done. One down. Now I'm just going to repeat the exact same thing on that side. Make sure it's all good. But I'm gonna spray the outside first, so that way I can mask this area right here when I start doing the bed liner and everything on the inside. Because if I do the bed liner first, then in order to paint this part, I have to like mask all of this. So it'll be a lot less masking if I only have to do this top section and then just spray in here with the bed liner. So I made a huge mistake. This stuff here is not the rocker guard that I thought it was. What I did was I sprayed down the edges and I laid the rubber over top of it. So that way it'll kind of act as like a makeshift adhesive to hold those rubber things down, and then I can put the like the rocker guard over top of it to kind of seal it in. So that way it just adds like a little bit extra protection. So that's all holding it all down so it stays perfectly flat. No big deal. That'll be fine. The issue is this stuff right here. So it says rubberized, but it's black asphalt undercoating. This does not dry. This is what I went to go buy. Why the hell did they have these like literally in the exact same spot? Like they're beside each other on the shelf. Rubberized black asphalt undercoating, premium rubberized rocker guard. This is the paintable stuff. If it says asphalt, this never dries. This always stays like somewhat pliable, so that way it's for the underside of vehicles, for like bushings and stuff that twist. This is for going over areas where like things aren't going to be moving, and it repels rock. So if a rock kicks up, it hits the rocker panel at the bottom of your doors or whatever and just bounces off, and it doesn't make a giant rock chip. This is for doing like the chassis for when you're off-roading. And they literally had them side by side on the shelf. So I bought all of the wrong ones. This stuff here does not dry fully. You can't paint over it. So I have to go back to the store tomorrow and I have to get this stuff, like the actual rubberized stuff, not this asphalt garbage. But in the sense of keeping things moving, I have this whole thing all cleaned up now. I didn't do anything crazy. Like I mentioned, just red Brillo pad, went over it, took the air over there, just blew it all down with a rag just to make sure that everything was off of it. And this thing is now ready for primer, but I'm going to be putting the respirator on. So I'm just using like generic primer because it's aluminum or aluminium, because a lot of my viewers are from Australia for some reason. I don't understand why. It's like the polar opposite of Canada. Our money is worth nothing and it's freezing here, and your money is worth nothing and it's like stupid hot there. But you know, whatever. So aluminium. I'm just going over this lightly with primer. Just going to do one coat over the entire thing. I'm just going to leave it. Then I'm going to come back in about 20 minutes, you know, maybe a half hour, and I'm going to start doing the black rust paint on the outside. So at least that can cure overnight. And then tomorrow I have to go get the proper rocker guard so I can start doing the inside. And just like that, primer's done. Time for paint. All right, cool. Next day, I'm super excited. I also painted the whole like top area in here, so that's all done. It's all cured. It's nice and dry, so I can mask all this off when I'm doing the rocker guard on the inside. That was why I wanted to do the outside first, because it would be easier just to mask this area, and then spraying in from this direction, it's only going to get on like the tape that's on the top. It's not going to get on the outside. That was kind of my thinking. Now, these are the pieces that I had sitting to like hold it, and obviously that did nothing. because what I was using is asphalt undercoating because, like I mentioned, like they had them sitting in the exact same spot. You can see that that's not dry. Like that's, yeah. Oh god, it's sticky. Anyway, so you can see that that's not dry. It's not going to dry. It's undercoating. It's for like suspension and chassis components and stuff. Now, for whatever reason, they had a ridiculous amount of these, and these are $22 each, like plus tax and everything or whatever. So it was like 50-ish bucks or whatever for these 2 cans. But directly beside these were those. And all of the black version of this were on the other side, and they're sold out. So that's basically what happened. And they're not sold out, because on the website it says that they have 7 in stock. There's none. And this has happened before there, where I went in for adhesion promoter, and it said they had like a ridiculous number again in stock, and then I looked there and there was nothing. Asked a person, they couldn't find them. They said the website's wrong, but for whatever reason the website just doesn't get updated, so they're sold out even though it says they're stock. Now another $50 later, so now we're at like 250-ish whatever for this. I got this stuff, but I have to clean all of this out now. So we can just take that out. That whole plan is completely ruined, so I can't reuse those, so I'm going back to my original plan of just doing the rocker guard. And now I get to clean all of this stuff up. Oh my god, it's like tar. Like, this is gonna suck. Like, why are the cans so similar? Like, I mean, my bad for not reading, but like, come on, man. Like, they said they had 7 in stock, and then these are just right beside it, and now I have to deal with all this because I grabbed the wrong ones. Like, this sucks. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is... Okay, cool. That was disgusting. So I just get to shake the hell out of this stuff. The actual rubberized rocker guard this time, where it even says paintable when dry. So, you know, fuck me, right? Anyway, all this is masked off, at least the important stuff. A little piece in here for the latch. Another little piece in here for the latch. Just did the trim all the way around the outside. And I'm only going to be spraying from inside out, so that way nothing is actually going to get on any portion here. And obviously I have the prop here because those don't do anything, but I mask them off anyway, so at least they're not going to, you know, have any issues until I replace them. I also peeled off the rest of the trim and cleaned up all the glue and everything that was there, or like the rubber seal stuff or whatever. Now for this stuff here, it comes out like crazy. So if you're up close, is this like not... I've been shaking this for like 2 minutes and it just came out clear. Maybe there's a reason they had like 40 of these on the shelf. Wow. Oh, there we go. There's some color. All right. But anyway, you can see that it's like ridiculous. So to get the finish that we want, I gotta spray it from like hella far away. And just let it mist on. So that way it has that kind of like textured finish or whatever that's gonna like hide scratches and just add more like rebound and stuff for like crap that I'm throwing in there. I just gotta spray this stuff from like really far away. Just like that. That's one coat. That's ready to go. So I'm just going to use the entire can. And then if this isn't enough, like I don't have full coverage yet, then I'm going to go to the other one. There's really no rhyme or reason to any of this. It's just that I just want to be able to have at least full coverage. So if one can isn't enough, I have a second. Plus, I'll find a use for it anyway. But I just want to have like a good, even coat across the entire thing. And I'm doing the lid too for absolutely no reason. Just, I don't know, continuity, just so it all looks the same. So when you open it up, it's just like, boom, gray. So everything will match. Something like that. I don't know. You get the gist though. I gotta put the respirator on. Okay, I'm gonna pipe in real quick. It smells like I'm not gonna remember this tomorrow. Short story long here. That was one can. So good luck, everybody. 2 full cans. Definitely didn't get the coverage I was expecting, but like the texture's there. So at least there's not gonna be like horrid scratches tossing crap in there. That's kind of what I was going after. So now it's paint time. Just quick, light coat. That's gonna be the tack coat, and then I'm going to try and use this entire can for that coat, and then I'm going to go over it again with that bigger can, and that'll be like the actual color coat, because I think they're going to be a little bit different because they're different brands. So this is kind of like the base, tack coat, make it all sticky, and then the other one's actually going to be like the color that it's going to be. So, respirator time. There we go. It's all done. I mean, for now. I got the whole like seal thing in or whatever all the way around. So I just kind of like lightly patted it up in place or whatever. So when I close it, that'll clamp it down kind of thing. But the inside's all done, all textured, all good. These things right here, you can buy them off Amazon for like 40 bucks. So I'm just leaving them in there right now as resistance. So they're just basically acting as like limiter straps or whatever. So that way if I open it and the wind catches it, it's not gonna like blow back and like destroy my rear window. So that's their only use right now, but the new ones, 40 bucks Amazon. So I'll pick those up at some point, probably whenever I decide to paint these and maybe get like a Ram emblem or something to put there. I don't know, just something shitty. But that's it. It's ready to go in. So now I get to struggle. Well, I've successfully destroyed the garage again. So that's kind of neat. I have to clean all of this. But the toolbox is done, so at least that's out of the garage. Got a little like rubber thing in there. I don't know, it'll probably help from vibrations or something. I just quickly sprayed all the like bare metal. Rained all night. No water in there. Seal's working well. Bolted in place. So that's it. Not too bad. Now realistically, the supply cost wasn't that crazy. I didn't end up using one of those cans of brake clean, one of the cans of primer. If I bought the correct stuff before, then that would have been like 50 bucks saved. So I think all in all, for what I actually used, it would have been around 200 bucks in supplies. And it's a free toolbox, so it basically cost me 200 bucks. Start to finish, installed. And that's Canadian, so that's like, I don't know, like $4 US or something. But when I ended up pricing them out, I was looking for those little like strut things or whatever that like hold it up, and I found like replacement toolboxes and stuff, and they're like $800 and up. So I definitely saved a lot of money just by getting this free one and just kind of like half-ass restoring it. But now I get to clean this absolute disaster zone of a garage. I'm so excited. I have completely destroyed this place over the last month. So yeah, that's it. That's my plan for today. Clean the whole garage. Hopefully you found something useful here. You know, like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already. That's cool, that helps out. Or, you know, don't do any of it. I'm not telling you what to do.